What's going on, guys? Today is Saturday, April 11th. Another day stuck in quarantine here for the Utility Players podcast. So let's get into what we talk about today. So today we talk about some news in sports. We talk about Dana White being told the UFC is canceled indefinitely. We talk about famous Jameis and Cam Newton still without a home this late in free agency. Uh-oh. And we talk about the MLB situation in Arizona. We then get into some segments. We play name game. We do a starting five of each of our top Alexes. We do a past versus present segment, which I guess I have to introduce again since we lost our last episode. Sorry, fans. So today, past versus present is we're going to compare a team or a combination or a sport or anything from the past for something more recently or in the present per se. So our first one that we're going to do is the first 4 to 5 years of the Crosby-Malkin era in Pittsburgh versus the first 4 to 5 years or the last 4 to 5 years per se of Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid in Edmonton. We do a mock draft today. Today's mock draft, we get into some greatest sports movies of all time. We do our favorite segment, Remember When, where we go down memory lane. We do a Would You Rather, where we talk about movie star or professional athlete. We'll see what the boys think about that later. And we get into some new challenges / see where we're at with our challenge and updates. And that's it for today. So, again, episode 6 of the Utility Players Pod. I'm your host, C Zipper. Let's say hello to the fellas today. Deegs, we always start with you. How are you doing today, fella?
Doing great. Hopefully this podcast gets posted.
And I agree because it's really annoying when you do an hour-long podcast and it doesn't make it outside. But when you have your third and final member recording it, you know what's going to happen. So let's say hello to the podcast listener himself. Easton, how are you doing today?
I was doing good until those comments.
Can we start out just real quick before we go to the news? LVP of the week, Easton.
All right, I'll take it. But in my defense, one, it said it recorded, and two, it was recording, but I don't think it's saved because after each video, it saves the video that you took, and since we messed up on the first one, like the first 2 minutes, I stopped that one and started recording another, so I think it saved that one and didn't even save our whole second one. I'll still take the blame. It's my technical difficulties, I guess, but better known for the future.
Yeah, for you guys listening, Easton will not be saved.
He's lost his responsibility.
We lost our last episode. So as I said, it's episode 6. We're kind of going to skip episode 5. If it ever comes through the cloud, we'll get it up on YouTube for you guys. But other than that.
Okay, to be fair, I may have lost that recording, but the recording before Connor hasn't even posted yet.
Yeah. Episode 4 got posted like last night.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I guess
so episode 4 is up. It was recorded like a week ago, so sorry for that. We're going to have to do a better job of that. That's on me for being just plain out lazy.
Look who's not in trouble.
I'm the LVP. Connor's the honorable mention.
LVP's next time because we're finishing off another week here.
All right, let's get into it.
Week 5, I believe, or something like that. So some news. So we talked about it last time about the possibility of Dana White getting an island to have the future UFCs this spring and carrying into the summer. But Dana White announced the other day that he is canceling the UFC indefinitely, and the fight next week is now no longer going to happen. I personally believe this is knowing the psycho that Dana White is. This is coming from higher grounds, and they basically some government official or somebody from a higher standing than Dana White said, "Hey, you can't do this." So
because one of the fighters on the card, Namajunas, I want to say her last name is, was supposed to fight and she backed out because 2 of her family members died from coronavirus. And I think that was kind of a wake up call to Dana White, like maybe I should cool the jets a little bit, give them a couple more weeks.
Yeah, I kind of think it was an extreme idea to begin with. I mean, where are they going to play this, like, Madagascar?
I don't know. But I think it's kind of sick. If they just had an island for fighting, So like Fortnite. Send them on the island, let them beat them shit out of each other.
Push him off a bus.
It's not like make it a reality TV show of just UFC fighters like surviving in the wild.
To avoid Corona, instead of a referee, just fight to the death.
Yeah, I would have been all for this. I think Dana White was all for it, but with that fighter and her family, I think it's kind of a wake up call, and I think kind of the government probably stepped in and was like, hey, like it's not a good idea.
Yeah, you can't have half the states try to stay at home order, and Dana White's like, fuck it, we're flying to BFE to fight on.
I also think that the card was in April or next week, April 17th. That had a large, like you said, that so many people are like quarantined and like stay at home in many states across the country, and for next week there to be a card was unrealistic. But I think it feel like, say the card was scheduled for like May 17th or June 17th, would have been a real possibility. Who knows? But too soon.
I think come June everything will be back. I think I saw something, a target date for baseball, hockey, and basketball, should they come back, is June 15th.
I think that's lofty thinking, in my opinion.
So do I, but that's at least like an idea of when they're expecting.
I think people are gonna go back to work sometime in May. And like, so maybe the shelter in place is gone. But I still think restaurants and I think stores will start to come back in May, maybe June. But I still think restaurants and like sports and like large gatherings and stuff and all like true non-essential stuff are still, like, restaurants are still going to be takeout. Like, there's still not going to be like bars and stuff open until like a fall.
I think what I think is going to end up happening is things are going to open up, but people are going to be too scared to like actually take advantage of them. So like, it's still pretty much going to be social distance where people are still locking themselves inside. I think sports is going to be interesting when it comes to that, because even if they don't have fans, once they open up to fans, not that many people are probably going to end up wanting to go.
Yeah, that's a whole new thing being readjusted to society now that like kind of the new normal for now. Like what, 5.5 weeks now? 5 weeks, 4 weeks.
Move on to Jameis Winston, Cam Newton still not having a job.
Yeah, so the next topic, Jameis Winston obviously lost his job to Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. I don't know if you guys saw the headlines from ESPN and like they had a quote from him. I saw that.
Yeah, there was an honor.
Yeah, it's good on me that like it's such an honor that like my job got taken by the greatest quarterback of all time. Good on me.
Guy the Patriots said we don't want anymore.
So clearly the LASIK surgery, that quote means the LASIK surgery did not fix any of the decision-making and brain skills.
He got married.
Did he really? I didn't see
he got married like a week ago in his backyard. I think he said they stood in pools because the chlorine kills the germs or something like that. I want to say that was a quote.
I was going to say they probably stole crab legs for their dinner too.
Oh, they had a whole free ceremony. He probably went to Kroger and took everything.
Yeah. A wedding during quarantine. Only famous Jameis would be the one that would go, hey, I think it's a great time to have a mass gathering of people during stay-at-home shelter across half.
It's surprising because he's such like an attention hog that like you would think he'd want to have it like when the whole world can hear about it. It was like a secret ceremony with like only their family.
Yeah, I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. Although he probably went to Vegas and found a girl. No, I'm kidding. That's a bad look on Jameis. I'm sorry, Jameis. I don't know.
The whole crab legs thing was a pretty bad look on Jameis.
There's a lot of things we could talk about him having like
the Uber driver
yards, but having 30 picks a year, and where we could talk about the Uber driver thing, or we could talk about what did he stand up on front of a table and say at Florida State? He got up on a table and said like some slur, something, and got in trouble for that too. I don't remember what the actual word was.
I don't think there's much going on in his head.
Yeah, but he is homeless and kind of unemployed right now. So that's where he's at in this quarantine. And another one, more surprising perhaps, is Cam Newton, who's been pushed out of Carolina.
Speaking of not much going on in their head, have you seen Cam Newton like when he tweets or like writes something on Instagram, like the way he writes?
Yeah, what is that?
It's like wingdings.
It's like hieroglyphics.
You know how long it probably takes? He has to hold down every letter and like slide his thumb over, get the right like.
He's definitely just got like that alternate keyboard.
Dude, like where does he come up with that?
I don't know.
Like, I just don't understand. Like,
I wonder if he texts like that.
I wonder if he talks like that in the locker room. He's like, "Anyong."
What's that
That's probably why.
sound you just made?
Imagine being in the huddle and he breaks out hieroglyphics on you.
He's like, I'm 1-on-1, ready, break, and you got Christian McCaffrey sitting there, dude. We just know it's a handoff to me. Running the ball 40 times a game. But anyways, I think Cam Newton's like more surprising because not only has he led a team to a Super Bowl, but he was not. Well, they were both number one picks. But like he's been relatively looking at stat lines, he has not been a other than ego wise, has not been a problem. He's simply just other than the 1 year hasn't really won there and hasn't been per se an MVP, All Pro, Pro Bowl quarterback, even though he's been to the Pro Bowl multiple times.
He's banged up too. We're like he doesn't have the
Yeah.
arm strength or the speed anymore that he used to be so dangerous with. That's why I think running quarterbacks run into trouble. Like he's a big running quarterback and he ran into trouble pretty quick.
He also hasn't played the past 2 seasons really, so it's kind of interesting to see if he's going to have kind of a vengeance toward this next season.
Yeah.
I think if you had to guess which one finds a home and which one like gets back to any form of themselves, I think it's Cam Newton because watching him, you can tell there's an attitude change and that this has changed his attitude, and it should piss you off in this kind of case. So hopefully that he can I think the New England rumors are great. I think he could go in there and focus and bring that chip on his shoulder back, or if he ever had one, and kind of get a second life, a second wind inside of Belichick's system.
Yeah, I think him and Belichick would be a pretty good fit together too.
But he's gonna have to take a pay cut if he wants that to happen.
Yeah,
I don't think Belichick would want him, to be honest. I heard Belichick wants to go after Jordan Love, the Utah State quarterback in his draft.
Yeah. The next Tom Brady question mark?
He fits more the mold of a Bill Belichick quarterback than Jameis or Cam Newton.
So name a spot where you see Cam Newton going.
Chicago is not a bad one.
They just got Nick Foles though.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. See, I don't understand that because Nick Foles is old and I just don't. He was injury prone last year.
Yeah, but anything's an upgrade from Trubisky.
Yeah, Trubisky.
That's true.
The Jugs machine.
I mean, Trubisky would have won a playoff game if Cody Parkey didn't
put it off the upgrade. Trubisky sucks.
Dude, the Pro Bowl, he couldn't even throw it over a wall. He's an NFL quarterback.
You want to know who the Bears drafted, passed up on to draft him? This is what makes him even worse.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson.
Correct, yeah.
Ooh, Easton dropping facts.
I didn't know if you would know that stat.
I do.
Yeah,
not Lamar. Lamar was a draft after him.
What was the other big third quarterback then?
There was a third one. I think it was it Rosen?
No, it was Bill's guy.
Josh Allen?
I think so.
No, he was the same as Lamar Jackson.
It might be just Deshaun and Patrick.
2017 draft, right?
We'll do some research.
Might be 2016. Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Dalvin Cook, quarterback.
It sounded like no one.
This draft was loaded though. Wow.
Yeah, good thing they took Mitch Trubisky.
Dude, at the number 2 overall pick.
After 10 games.
I see a home for Cam Newton in possibly Oakland. I don't think James would get along.
They brought in Mariota.
Yeah, but I think they would still have the buddy for Cam Newton. I'd rather Cam Newton than Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, they also got Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is better than Cam Newton.
I disagree.
I think Derek Carr is going to be a lot better this year just based off the fact that Marcus Mariota is his backup.
Yeah.
It's going to put some pressure on him.
I honestly can't see Cam Newton or Jameis going anywhere and being a starter. I think wherever they go, they're going to be backup. And it's going to be kind of Trying to
one of them,
salvage your career.
one of them's probably going to go to the Chargers and be their starter.
I could see a Charger. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. They just signed Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's nothing.
That's not
Red
the move.
Taylor is garbage. Anybody that's been on the Bills in the past 10 years, garbage quarterback.
Yeah.
Nathan Peterman started over Tyrod Taylor at one point.
Yeah, but Nathan Peterman was sick.
Nathan Peterman threw 5 interceptions in one half.
Yeah, every pass he throws
The
gets caught.
epitome. I mean, he's basically saying that someone told him, if you get into trouble, just remember the football touching the ground is lava for the football. And he goes, okay. And he goes out there and makes sure that the ball doesn't hit the lava. But he gets into trouble and he throws half the balls to the other team. So that's Nathan Peterman. Anyways.
Yeah. Why don't we move on to the name game?
You don't want to talk about baseball?
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, update me on this because I don't know. I haven't been following it.
All right, so you know National League American League?
Yep.
Scrap it. They want to go Universal DH this year, Cactus League versus Grapefruit League. I think the Tigers will be with the Yankees, the Phillies, Pirates maybe. It's supposed to cut down on travel because they all have like facilities within a certain distance of each other and like be able to get more games in quicker. But like
All in Arizona.
I'm not sure.
How do they
I want to
decide?
say all in Arizona.
How do they decide who gets what facility in Arizona? Because like the Tigers spring trainings in Lakeland, Florida.
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say they might be doing some games in Florida now, and that's why they're breaking up the league like that.
That could make sense because I know a lot of those teams are in Florida. Their spring training.
Yeah.
I just don't see any of this. Like, I just don't have an opinion on it, frankly. From this, like, I just don't see any of this happening. It's just so unrealistic.
Yeah, at this point, they're just spitting out ideas to try to keep like people in
media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, if it were to happen, they're basically saying that this season, like, we're not declaring a winner, like a real winner, because like you have those divisions and you play, say, a 60 to 80 game season. Whoever wins that is just gonna be like never regarded as a real champion, because like you could just get hot. Like, teams get hot for a month or two because the season's so long. You could just get hot during the short season and win a championship when really, like, 162 season, you could have been the Detroit Tigers of 2019. You were just hot for the month.
Yeah. Well, the Tigers, even if they play a 6-game season, last year the Tigers' first 40 games, they were 19-21, and then they ended up in dead last. So like if you play a 60-game season, like there's a reasonable chance that a pretty bad team could sneak in there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's disregarding. It's basically giving us like baseball without giving us history.
Baseball. Yeah. The only thing I do like is that all these shortened seasons is you'll get like playoff intensity baseball for pretty much the whole year, because 5 losses. If you lose 3 games, a 3-game series gets swept, you might be out of the playoffs just because of that, as opposed to having 159 more games to play.
Yeah, it does provide something. I don't know. It's a spectacle to watch at this point. Like over a month and no sports. That like if baseball were able to do it, fine. Like that'd be great. And like that's the media that like it's a whole media thing. But I just don't think anything they propose so far is realistic or like even like on a radar of happening.
Well, I heard, I read something that the MLB was talking about playing in Japan and play games during the day and the Japanese teams play at night. The thing is, Japan just got hammered by coronavirus and they just canceled the Olympics to cut down on travel. Why would you move the entire league to Japan?
They canceled the whole Olympics.
Yeah. And then that's the same thing as Dana White trying to get an island. It's the same
Pretty
thing.
soon they're just going to be playing in like Minecraft servers.
Yeah, I think we stick to the Twitch streams. MLB players play themselves in the show on Twitch. That's the extent of sports right now. As depressing it is. The only the only moving thing across my screen right now is my pro in NHL these days. So that's depressing.
Isn't that me?
It is. His name's Easton Ray. He has like 87 points in like 40 games right now.
Sick.
Doesn't sound realistic.
Well, he's going off. Okay, after we talked about Wayne Gretzky putting up 200 points in a season, I said I have to do that. In my mind, road to the show, closest thing I have to a real statistic right now in my life. So, all
I
right,
like how you say
Some records.
your guy is me.
yeah, Easton Ray. All right, let's play a name game.
Easton, right?
Today's name game. Give me your starting 5 of top Alex's.
I'll start.
Okay.
Excited.
No real order, but Alex Ovechkin, obviously. A-Rod, Alex Morgan, Al Kaline, and Al McInnes.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Al Kaline can't be on your list. He's Albert.
I didn't know that. I just knew him as Al, and I assumed it was Alex or Alexander.
Nope, he's Albert. He's Albert Kaline, R.A.P.
So right now, Easton's playing shorthanded.
I guess we're on a penalty kill now.
Easton's team is playing 5-on-4. Your team.
Hey, who are your repeat them?
His team.
Al McInnes.
Is his name Alex?
Yes, it is. Alex Morgan, Alex Rodriguez, and Alex Ovechkin.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was a 5-on-3. Oh, okay.
Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the same ones as you. God damn it.
Who's your different one? Since I'm shorthanded.
Well, I had like 2 or 3 for my 5th one. I had like some goofy ones and then some like fringe ones. So I'll share my starting 5 and then I'll give you my fringe ones. So I have Alex Morgan, of course, the beautiful 2011 WPS #1 overall pick, one of the greatest scorers in USA international history.
Wait, pause. Isn't she pregnant right now?
I didn't know.
think so.
I thought she's
was. Married.
Yeah,
she's
I
married
think she just
to
had
like
a kid or something.
She's married to an MLS player.
I saw a picture of her. She was big. Okay, carry on.
That's a weird dynamic.
That's a weird description. She was big.
Well, it's weird.
After Connor just goes, she's the most beautiful person I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, she was pregnant. It's a natural stage of life.
I just said she was beautiful.
Yeah, but it's weird to think that like
pregnant is not a natural stage of life. You don't.
It's weird to think that last year she won a gold medal.
Abstinence.
And now this year she's just pumped out a kid.
That's a dream.
Years ago.
It's like you win a Super Bowl and like your wife gets pregnant. She wins the World Cup. She's like, it's my time to shine.
Julia Sackert.
All right, go.
Alex A-Rod Rodriguez, the reason why, one of 2 players for the reason why I always wore 13 growing up. Him and Pavel Datsyuk.
He was an asshole.
7 with the Mariners, 3 with the Rangers, 12 with the Yankees, 600 home runs, batted at just a tad under 300 at 295, over 2,000 RBIs, 2,000 runs scored, 3,000 hit club. Surprisingly, had stole 300 bases in 20 years. I didn't know that. That's a fun stat. He's on my squad. My squad is also going to carry a little less. My squad's not a very high integrity team, as we have Alex Rodriguez, rumored steroid user, and we have the asteroid scandal man himself, Alex Bregman. So clearly we're a bunch of shady guys. We're that team you don't want to play, but we're a bunch of winners. Alex Bregman is a 2-time All-Star, 2-time world champ, Silver Slugger, and all MLB second team in 2019. He's on the list. Another guy who you could argue doesn't play with great integrity is Alexander Ovi Ovechkin. The man speaks for himself, not only into his 30s as he's pumping out nearly 50 goals a year, but as a career he has 700 goals. Trying to chase Ovechkin on that list, trying to chase Wayne Gretzky. Jesus, he's over speak, learn English. He has 572 career assists, nearly 1,300 career points. Is actually a career Well, this year he was a -12. Career he's a +82, which I found interesting because he's putting on an MVP year with 48 goals. First in the NHL. Thank you for coming. And then, so those are my 4. I just wanted to give you some entertainment on how my team was going to look. And then I'll give you my 5th, and then I'll share my 2 goofy ones. I'm gonna go. God, I have 2 that I'm looking at right now. They're both world champions. I'm gonna go with Alex Gordon of the Kansas City Royals, 3-time All-Star, won a World Series in 2015, 7 Gold Gloves, a Platinum Gold Glove award. Not necessarily a Hall of Famer per se, but definitely more than a role player and one of the greats in Kansas City history. Fascinating guy. A guy who in the AL Central, we saw a lot of growing up as being a Tigers fan, him being in that 3, 4, 5 hole, part of your childhood that you somewhat remember. So I'm going to cling on to him, and he's going to be my 5th guy in my starting lineup. Nick, you can go.
All right, so pretty much all mine have been said. I have a list of 8 athletes and 1 human. So I'm going to list off my starting 5, and I'll tell you my other 4, my bench players. So I got obviously Alex Ovechkin, Alex Morgan, Alex Rodriguez. Those are pretty obvious. I feel like everyone had them. I went Alex Bregman, World Series champion. He was almost MVP last year. The whole cheating scandal kind of sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. Then Alex Pietrangelo, Stanley Cup winner last year.
He was my my 6th one. Him and Alex Gordon were the ones I was.
I put him top 5 in the NHL as far as defensemen go currently. And then here are my 4 bench players. So my 3 athletes are Alex Caruso, just a household name. Everyone loves him. Alex Smith, the quarterback that shattered his leg. And then Jair Alexander. I like to go with the last names. I thought it was a little fancy. He's a good defender. Then my all-time Alex person, Alexander Graham Bell, invented the telephone.
Alexander Graham Bell.
I was going to have him batting leadoff, but I didn't know how to be athletes. The guy changed the world.
I love it. So I would say, besides the fact that Easton's team has 4 people, we're so similar that all are solid squads.
Yeah, except Easton's icing the puck every time he gets it.
And Alex Morgan has not had the kid yet.
Do you go on the disabled list, pregnancy, or is that?
So I just looked up her Instagram.
No. That's how you found out. I mean, if I tear my ACL, I'm on the injured list, and I'm torn ACL out for the season. Does she go on the injury report pregnant out for the season?
Yeah, maternity leave. It's like any other job.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we have 4 set in stone, and then the fifth guy is up for debate.
So, surprised none of you had Al McKinnon, so I thought Nick would at least.
I didn't know his name was Alex.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid Al's because most of the Al's I look up at the beginning were Albert or Alfred. Maybe you should have done more research. You want to contribute to this podcast with some actual factual information next time?
Instead of losing the podcast?
Yeah. You are on a downward slide. You had a bad podcast a couple days ago.
You're in your regression.
Say a real fact, and then you bring me an Albert K-line. You disrespect a recently deceased legend like that.
The worst part is, I feel like last podcast I was good.
And you have the balls to speak while I'm speaking?
I was good last podcast.
Dude, Easton, you're going to end up running wind sprints pretty soon. We're going to put you on the line and blow the whistle. You got to pick it up, man. We're not tying Norway. That was a swing and a miss.
Oh, we're going to get into that one later. I like that reference.
Oh, that wasn't a swing and a miss.
That was a good one. I got it right away.
It's just the silence kind of hurt me.
National team and go to the Olympics and win again.
Who we playing, Rammer?
All right, let's move on. We can talk about this later. I'm sure this will happen in about 10 minutes.
We should just go into mock draft next.
Yeah, we'll go to
mock draft
present after that.
Can I have the number 1 pick? I haven't gotten it yet.
No.
No, your team didn't come in last. Easton's team came in last and only had 4 guys, so he gets the first pick.
With the first overall pick, it's a no-brainer. Already said Miracle on Ice. Miracle for short.
I think no-brainer is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I don't know about no-brainer.
Okay, no-brainer for anybody who played hockey growing up.
I didn't have the
Which
number
we all
one.
did.
I didn't have it number 1.
All right, well, that's your
Really?
fault.
Connor, you can go too.
With the second overall pick, I am going to the boxing ring with Sylvester Stallone, an old washed-up boxer, wants to go after Apollo Creed. I am going with Rocky 1.
It's a good pick. I didn't even think about those movies.
I didn't think about that.
I came up with a movie that I'm not sure everyone here is going to like, but I'm a huge fan of it. Moneyball.
That was not a first-round pick, but definitely.
That was my
That's
next pick.
definitely a first-round pick.
That was my next pick.
That was my first overall pick.
I don't know about first
It's
overall, but that was my
nowhere
next
near
pick.
first.
Dude, that
overall.
movie's so good.
It's not a top 5 sports movie, but it's a top 10.
You ready for this? This is easily top 10. With the second round pick, the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. It's kind of it's a good movie. It's classic, but it's just like the more you watch it, the more you realize it kind of sucks a little bit, but you just can't stop watching it.
No, it's pretty cheesy, but like it's a classic.
No, I like the one, I think it's D2 or D3, where they go to like the Olympics and they bring out the knuckle puck kid. Do you know the goalie from those movies is like a crackhead in jail?
D2's my favorite. D2's my favorite.
Is that the Olympics one?
Yeah.
Yeah. They play Iceland.
Who went second? Me?
Yep.
I am going to go with, this is going to be an interesting one. Easton, I don't know if you're going to know this off the title. This Field of Dreams.
Yeah, that's the one where they play in the cornfield, right?
Yeah, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah. The
Kevin
Yankees were going to do that this
Costner.
year. The Yankees and White Sox.
Yep, they were.
It was supposed to be in August or something, I'm pretty sure.
I just think, like, not necessarily the sports part of it, but, like, the actual movie is, like, a great movie, and, like, it's hard to, like it's hard to, like, look, like, if it's on cable, I'm going to, like, sit there and watch it. That's my second pick.
Waterboy.
Terrible pick.
Nah.
I hate that movie.
Really?
I don't think it's funny at all. Bobby Boucher sucks.
I feel like you got tackled by him and now you're sad.
All right,
Last
pick.
That would be on like my like wall of shame movies, sports movies.
Last pick. I'd say this one's probably on the wall of fame. I'm surprised it slipped to the third round. The Sandlot.
Yeah. That was gonna be my pick.
That was my third round pick.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more of a second round pick, but
Benny the Jet Rodriguez. I'm gonna go with another oldie-ish. I mean, older than us. And I don't know if Nick's probably. You guys might have both seen it. He Got Game.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
Neither of you guys have seen that?
Nope.
Great movie. You want me to describe it?
Give me a 30-second rundown.
Okay.
Is it about basketball?
Oh, let me start my
it's
clock.
fast.
Let me start my clock. I'm cutting you off at 30 seconds. Ready? Set. Go.
So Ray Allen plays this like young like high school player who's like the next big thing. Like is either going to get picked number 1 or has the choice to go to college. But his dad, who's played by Denzel Washington, gets let out of jail. His dad's been in jail for like 10 years. Gets let out of jail on like the warden says he'll like pay him and let him stay out permanently if he gets him the son to go to like this one school. And so it's like about this relationship.
Time's up.
The dad
Can't
tries
talk. No. You ran out of time.
shows about like
No.
shows a lot.
No. You've been muted.
Mute him.
I have the capabilities. I host this session. All right. All right. So the last overall
One of
pick.
the first times I saw titties.
All right, last pick.
All right, with the last pick, I was between two. I didn't know which one to go with, so I'm gonna say my pick and then say my honorable mention. The 9th overall pick, I'm going Space Jam.
Good movie.
Like she's a classic. And then my honorable mention that was debating between was The Longest Yard.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which one to go with. The more I think about it, I had a really bad second round pick. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really feel read the board well, and it kind of screwed me.
Yeah, dude, I had some about 3 honorable mentions I thought were pretty good, but not really worthy of top 3 rounds.
I had a handful.
Bad News Bears might have been able to slip in there, I thought.
Good movie.
Same with Slapshot.
Baby.
Yeah, I had Slapshot and Outside.
That was on mine, yeah.
But also, my last honorable mention was Southpaw.
What about Semi-Pro? You ever seen Semi-Pro?
Oh, I forgot about Semi-Pro.
What is Semi-Pro again? Is that Will
Ferrell's Flint Tropics, and they're trying to get in the NBA.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Good movie. I watched it like yesterday.
That's definitely an honorable mention. That's not a.
Yeah, we need like a 7-round draft. Maybe one day we'll just have an episode committed purely to drafting.
Yeah, we should have done like a 5-round draft for that one.
If I had to do 2 or 3, I do Remember the Titans, Blindside.
That was my next pick after Space Jam.
And A League of Their Own. I don't know if you guys have seen that one.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen that movie, but
that's the women's baseball one, where like the guys are in World War II, so they had like a year or 2 of like where the women's played pro.
What about 42?
42 is a good one. 42 is a really good one. I don't know.
We should have like a 10-round draft.
42 is not a top 3 rounder though, but it's
but it's right there.
Yeah, we definitely should have done a 5-round draft.
That's like a 5th round elite superstar. You just kind of find in the rough. Happy Gilmore.
Also, this one's a new one. Actually, I'm not gonna say it because you guys wouldn't care for it. No, the new it's pretty new. It came out last year. The Ford vs Ferrari is supposed to be really good.
I haven't seen it, but I heard it was really good. I heard it kind of dragged on.
Yeah, I could see it. It's with Matt Damon and Christian Bale. That helps.
It ain't bad.
Yeah.
You guys want to move on to past versus present?
I'm looking at a list of like.
We can talk about movies all day. All right.
I got one. I don't know. Sorry, last one from me. Actually, no, I got 2.
We're like the 20th round.
Yeah.
It's like an MLB draft.
2 of them that you're actually going to be mad that we forgot. 1, Friday Night Lights.
Not mad at all.
I'm not a huge fan of the movie.
2, We Are Marshall.
Also not really that upset.
I've only seen We Are Marshall once. Good.
We Are Marshall's really good. I really enjoyed that movie. Okay, I'm done.
All right, let's move on, and then maybe next episode we'll go back to this, and we'll have like another like 6 or 7 rounds and just go at it.
Yeah, we gotta do a different.
Let's
topic,
do something different. Yeah. So past versus present, since we skipped it. So our past for today is the first. Well, okay. So when I made this like segment, McDavid's been in the league for 4.5 years and Draisaitl for 5.5. So keep that in mind. So I have it at 5 years, even though McDavid hasn't played 5 full years. So the first 5 years of the Crosby era versus first 5 years in Pittsburgh, versus the first 5 years of the Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid era in Edmonton.
This is a no-brainer.
Yeah, this is a layup.
I know we talked off air about it, but why is it a no-brainer?
Dude.
So
Crosby
and McDavid are both franchise players, and honestly, McDavid could end up having or scoring more than Crosby and maybe even being a better player. But Draisaitl will never touch Malkin. He won't even come close.
I'm gonna reach you some trophies.
Malkin could be a franchise player by himself without being overshadowed by Crosby.
So I think personally the only thing that really says it to me, like as a duo per se, is the cup that Crosby and Malkin.
Yeah, but there's more to it too. They went first, and then Crosby went first. Malkin went second. Yeah. Like in the draft.
Ovechkin was the first overall pick in Malkin's draft. Malkin was the second, and for the first 3 to 5 years, they absolutely hated each other. And the question back and forth was, should Malkin have been the first overall pick?
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is like you look at it like the Penguins had the first overall pick and the second overall pick, so obviously they weren't the greatest team. And within 2 or 3 years, they made two finals appearances. Crosby had 300-point seasons. Malkin had 200-point seasons. Crosby won a Hart, a Pearson, and a Ross, a Messier and Richard Trophy. Malkin won the Calder, finished second in the Hart, won another Ross, and won the Conn Smythe. I mean, they pretty much dominated the league from the get go together. Like Draisaitl and McDavid are doing good. Don't get me wrong; they're in the weakest division in hockey this year, and they're scrapping to make the playoffs. They haven't made the playoffs. They made the playoffs once together.
Well, you could.
Draisaitl.
They had a
Draisaitl-
wagon around them
Go
in
ahead.
Pittsburgh too. It was like one could argue that Edmonton is still young. Like around Draisaitl and McDavid, they're still filled with young prospects with them. Where Pittsburgh wasn't necessarily. Obviously, they weren't ready to go, but they were a more well-developed team and brought in like guys like Gonchar, and they had Fleury in that. They had Whitney, and they had Kunit. They brought in
Yeah,
Kunit.
but Fleury's only like a year or two older than Crosby.
Yeah, no, but I think they were just more established. Like they had a more established team than Edmonton had when they first got there.
Yeah, but I don't know. If you're comparing the two, like Crosby and Malkin made the playoffs and like they were competing for championships. Draisaitl and McDavid are good. They're not competing.
They made a playoffs.
Yeah, one time.
Yeah, I'm not comparing them based off team output, just like personal output. Like Draisaitl's first 3 years, 51 points, 77, 70. Malkin's is 85, 106, 113.
And Crosby had 120 their first year together.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst Crosby did was he had 66 points. That was the lowest point total he had in his first 5 years, and that's because he only played 41 games. It's just, I don't know.
Mhm.
I think it's a layup.
Malkin's
it's a
averaging
layup
over
as
a
well.
point
I
per
just
game.
wanna-
Draisaitl's
I
also
just-
like -8 and McDavid's -9, and they're on a first place team in their division.
Mhm.
They have 100 points each.
Oh, as of right now, Draisaitl has exactly 1 point per game. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, 422 NHL games played, 422 points.
This year definitely helped him.
Yeah.
He kind of got screwed. He would have won some hardware
I mean,
this year.
He had 105 points last year.
Yeah,
10
but
less
this
games.
year,
Yeah, he still had 10 more games.
yeah, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
I think that one's a layup.
Crosby, Malkin, lock it in for me.
All right. I agree. I just wanted to build somewhat of an argument against it.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when? Easton, remember when what?
Remember, kind of funny, when Conor McGregor stepped into the boxing ring with Floyd Mayweather and got his ass kicked.
I remember watching that like on a big screen against a building.
Mm-hmm. That was my first day at school. Someone put
That
it
was
on
like our first week
illegally
of college.
in some no, the first day, like the first night. Someone put it on illegally streaming it in one of the lecture halls, and everyone was just go to sleep every time Mayweather threw a punch at McGregor.
Easton just snitched on whoever streamed it.
Yeah. Those are
I didn't snitch on anyone. I just said someone did it.
committed a federal crime. Their haircut.
You have the express written permission of MM or UFC to show that fight.
I don't know. I just showed up. Someone told me to watch it there, so I did.
That's the
My-
story of Easton's life. That's like you could say that. Easton could say it about most things in his life.
I
That
don't
one
know. I
quote-
just showed up.
I don't know. I just showed up.
Well, no, it was super sketchy because like I walked in and was like, all right, like cool, it's on, showing all like the pre-fights and stuff, and then right when the last pre-fight stopped, it like cut out for a second. Everyone's like, oh god, now you gotta start paying for it, and then it some guy went up there and fixed it. And
What a
McGregor
legend.
got his ass beat.
Nick.
My remember when Derek Jeter got his 3,000th hit with a home run.
Yeah.
I do.
What's his name caught it? That weirdo.
Zach Hampel.
Yeah.
He wouldn't return it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But did he catch Jeter's 3,000th hit, or did he catch like A-Rod's 3,000th hit?
I thought it was Jeter's. Were they both home runs?
Yeah, I don't know if A-Rod's was a home run.
Oh, it was A-Rod's.
Oh,
Yeah. Zach Hampel did not get Derek Jeter's. Zach Hampel didn't want to give the ball back when he caught.
Your mic cut out.
A-Rod was offering him like big money, and Hampel was like, "No, I just want the ball so I can have 10,000."
Cut out again. Cut out again.
anyways,
Ines.
my number one. Oh, there you go. I remember one is also a baseball one. You remember when Brandon Inge of the Detroit Tigers was in the home run derby and proceeded to hit absolutely 0 home runs in a home run derby?
I think someone said if he was at Cooperstown Dreams Park on 200-foot fences, he would have had 1 home run. I think every ball he hit was a ground ball. It's pretty impressive.
I remember there, like, All-Star game wise, like being a Tigers fan, I don't have that many memories of like actual Tigers. I remember in 2005, like when we hosted it, the last time we hosted it, I remember like generally I remember Josh Hamilton at Yankee Stadium. I remember Bryce Harper winning it a couple years back. I remember when Cespedes won it. I remember like Jeter's last one. Other than that, the really only Tigers memory I have of an All-Star game like weekend is Brandon Inge hitting 0.0 home runs.
Living the dream.
Who was it? Was it Harper a few years ago, who just had like the crazy comeback and won it?
No, maybe yeah. Remember Josh Hamilton hit 27 and then didn't win the whole thing? Yeah.
And lost. That's the
now he's in jail.
That's one of the ones I remember.
What's he in jail for?
Assaulting his daughter.
Oh, I'll do it.
Yeah. Guy's messed up.
I don't know. I just showed up.
You said why you're in jail? I don't know. I just kind of showed up.
That was a good quote.
I like that. Anyone else? Final thoughts on Remember When?
Nope. Let's keep things moving along and kind of got to take a shit.
Nope.
Okay. Don't do that again. Would you rather be a movie star or a professional athlete? Anyone?
You want me to bat lead off?
You can bat lead off. Go for it.
All right, this one's kind of a tough one. Obviously making good money either way. I think, honestly, you'd rather be a movie star because there's way less travel involved. You're posted out at your shooting location for a stretch of time. You're shooting the movie, and then you go back to your normal life for however long. Professional athlete, if you're a professional MLB player, the entire summer you're going city to city. You're not at home that much. You're kind of always out. You're going to get injured. You can only do it for so long. Professional movie star, you can start when you're 5. You can retire when you're 90. There's like not really any rules with that.
I agree with that, but I feel like an athlete personally is just gonna be more enjoyable for myself.
It'd be sweet.
With Easton.
It'd be sweet, but you have to remember you're traveling, dude.
Ooh, holy, not a word. I was about to say, could you handle paparazzi? I meant, could you handle paparazzi?
Yeah, I'm gorgeous.
Do you think you could actually handle that? No, I'm serious. With like 60 people just flashing lights in front of you, all you would want to do is sit on my couch and have some like grocery store brand ice cream.
You gotta have a little.
No, I thought you hated grocery store brand ice cream.
Exactly. I'd rather be doing that than being filmed by 60 random people. Like just going to the grocery store, buying my freaking grocery store.
Yeah, but do you want to travel? Like, all right, let's say you're an NHL player. From October to June, you're traveling to a different city pretty much 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah, into October, I'm golfing.
I personally, I like to travel and I love to travel like that.
Yeah, you would like to travel until you're traveling Like, let's say you have a 20-year career, you're traveling twice a week for 20 years.
I
You're
disagree.
going everywhere. I feel like
Yeah,
you
but
get pretty old.
The team's setting it all up for you, anyways.
Yeah, no, I know, but dude, you know how old that would get to
Dude,
fly
you're
from
with the
city to city.
boys making
Yeah.
millions. I would never get sick of that.
That'd be fun. And as like a professional athlete, like as like you're like adored by like your community and stuff, like a movie star, like everything you do is just getting watched.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's what sport you are, though. Like LeBron James. Everything
Okay,
he does is getting
LeBron, a
watched.
revolutionary player, but like Anthony Davis isn't as much.
Yeah,
Well, would you
he's
rather?
pretty
Would you?
scrutinized.
Yeah. Would you rather be LeBron James or Leonardo DiCaprio? We'll go to like the highest to the high in both categories.
LeBron James.
Less travel if you're Leo. I mean, it'd be sweet to be like the best athlete. 'Cause,
You don't
like,
think
I'm more
Leo
into
is
sports.
traveling months out of the year to film movies and like vacation
Mhm.
stuff? You're out of your mind.
Dude,
Yeah,
also as like an athlete, like I feel like you got something to work towards. Like as a movie star, like what? You're just waiting for your next movie.
You have
Oscars,
it.
Grammys.
You already have that like skill. You're just looking. You're just like hoping the next role comes.
Yeah, but the other thing too is like if you're an actor, like if you're an athlete, like your body gets really beat up over. Like let's say you play professional hockey, your body
Yeah, I
gets so
get
beat up
that.
after a 10-year career. The rest of your life, like you got knee
Yeah.
problems.
I mean, unless you're
PTSD stuff. Yeah.
But like since we mentioned LeBron James, like he spends what millions on his body every year just to keep
Mhm.
it in peak form.
Yeah, or you can be Leonardo DiCaprio and just chill at home and not spend money.
Not spend my. Oh.
You're not gonna have to keep your body in shape. You just work out. I doubt he's spraining ankles like Steph Curry is.
Well, no.
Would you rather be a movie star or a famous artist?
Like,
Artist, just chill
Like,
at
would
home
you-
and do whatever you
Like,
want.
would you rather be like Drake or Leonardo DiCaprio?
That's.
You mean artist or like musician?
He means musician.
Like music artist.
I'd rather
I'm
probably
ki-
music.
That's so hypocritical then.
Yeah, but you get to choose when you go on
Traveling
tour.
you're traveling just as much as a musician. As
Dude, you
you
get to choose when you go on tour. You go on tour once every 2 years. You tour for 6
yeah,
months
for
and you're done.
6 months, once every 2 years. That's relatively the same schedule. You're traveling more than if you were in a.
Dude, you're traveling twice a week for
You're in a
20
different
straight.
spot every single weekend. In the NHL,
Dude, so is pro hockey. The NHL, they're in a different spot every weekend.
You're an idiot.
Dude, you come back home and then you go a different city next weekend.
Every other weekend, NHL.
Dude, you're not playing 2 straight weeks.
You're not even in a spot for 2 days.
Give me an NHL team. Give me an NHL team.
Do the Red Wings, the hometown team. They're at home for more than 2 weeks at a time. When you're touring, you're not doing that.
Yeah, but then you're home for a year and a half.
Not really. A lot of artists tour every single year, close to it.
All right, here is their
We're
schedule.
playing shows multiple months out of the year.
No.
Okay,
Do the Buffalo Sabres.
No, here's the Red Wings schedule. At the Kings, this is their weekends. At Kings, the next weekend at Bruins, next weekend at Panthers, next weekend home versus Stars, next weekend home versus the Oilers, but they travel
2
to
weeks
Blue
right
Jackets.
there.
Blue Jackets during the weeks. They flew
Columbus,
out.
that's a bus trip and back.
All right, dude, you
All right.
play half your games at home. You're gonna be home
At Carolina,
half the season. You're traveling
at
for half the
Carolina,
season.
at New Jersey, at Washington, then versus Sabres in the same weekend. At
You're
Boston.
spending half the season at home, Nick.
Yeah, but you're traveling in between. You're not spending. You're not at home, dude. You're not at home for 3 months. You're at home for 4 days, and you fly out, and you come back. You're home for 10 days. You fly out.
Okay, what's wrong with that?
So then, if you're at home for 10 days, you're gonna be on the
When you're
road
a musician,
for 15.
you're going to be on the road for 6 months straight, living out of a van.
Dude, if you're at home for 2 weeks straight, that means you're on the road traveling from city to city for 2 weeks straight.
They travel on a van for 6 months out of the year.
All right. Since the question kind of turned into, would you rather be a pro athlete or a musician? Which would you rather be?
Me?
All of us.
Well, Nick.
Connor hates
Because
it.
the movie star's kind of out. We're kind of arguing through athlete.
Oh
and musician
no!
now.
I would rather be a musician than a athlete. I just think Nick was being hypocritical.
I'm not being hypocritical, dude. Look at how much. All right. Let's say you go on tour once. You go on tour for a year, and you're home for a year working on music, and you finish your album. You go on tour for a year. You're traveling from city to city for a year, playing shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday. NHL, you play at Winnipeg, at Minnesota, in Detroit, at Calgary, at Vancouver, at Edmonton, at home in Detroit, at Ottawa. Like,
What? I don't understand your argument.
The way it breaks down is that half the season is going to be at home and half the season is going to be traveling.
Exactly. I just don't get when he says just because you're home for 4 days, that doesn't make you're still home when you're.
yeah, but that's traveling.
Going home.
You're
It's
home for half the
traveling.
season, and then every time you travel, you're counting
The thing is,
a day of travel.
when you're coming home, you're not coming home to stay. You're coming home to play a game, and then travel back out.
Okay.
So your home,
You're
your
still
home
sleeping
is
in your bed. You're still
Yeah.
eating dinner with your family.
I
You're also home with nothing to do all July to August, or June to August, May to August.
Yeah, so you're home for 3 months a year, and then let's say you're home for
You're home full time. You're pretty much a teacher at that
Yeah,
point.
so are musicians for the entire year that they're recording an album.
Yeah. But it's cooler to be a pro athlete.
Yeah, but
I'd rather be a musician. Purely because I think they get more girls.
not Antonio. Antonio Cromartie has like 13 kids. You got it, Ron.
That's a wide receiver Antonio Cromartie's not even a receiver. Dumbass. That's a football player. I don't want to be a football player.
Yeah, actually, pro athlete would depend on what sport. Big time.
Movie
Hockey,
star,
baseball,
athlete,
basketball.
athlete. I'd
Those
rather
are the three I'd do.
I'd be a baseball player.
Or like golf.
All right, let's wrap this up.
His daughter does date a golf player.
All right, so consensus professional athlete
Unless you're Nick, who doesn't like to travel. Nick's gonna
or
stay.
like girls.
He's gonna stay in his basement all his life because he doesn't want to travel. See the world, Nick.
Dude, you can see the world without being a professional athlete and traveling back and forth every 3 days. I feel like you can do so much better, and I feel like you're gonna get punched through the screen somehow.
My favorite part about this is Connor screaming just in his room right now with his family, probably just sitting downstairs.
Your mom's probably downstairs. Why is he arguing with if he's gonna be an athlete or a musician? I think they're both out
Yes,
the window.
I am in quarantine with my entire family. Okay.
As we all are.
Challenge.
Let's do a challenge.
Nick shooting a pong ball into a shot glass.
Yeah, how many shots do you think it take me to make a ping pong ball into a shot glass?
What was the over under?
I don't know. You guys said it. I feel like you guys said it pretty
wasn't
low.
it 45?
Something like that.
You can do
Over.
50 shots. I will do a naked lap around my house.
In under 50 shots?
Yep.
Okay. So are you going over or under on 45?
Oh, 45? I don't know.
What about
Over.
you, Easton?
Over. Count
Over.
in for over.
Easton
Both
also
over.
has to run a naked lap.
No.
I'm doing it at dark, Easton, when no one can see me.
Okay.
Tyler to turn off all the lights and his parents are like, Connor, it's noon. What are you doing? You can't see me.
I believe I have an invisibility cloak, Harry Potter. I actually just watched that last night.
All right, we'll set the over under at 45.
Okie dokie. All right. Final thoughts? Anyone?
I'm going under.
I'm over. Enjoy your quarantine, guys. Till next time.
Don't
The
travel.
Utility Pod, and we are out. Don't see the world.